Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 23 and today we are starting things off on the island underneath this gigantic thing that we built in the previous episode of Hermitcraft. Now this is 1/4 of the plan that I came up with to make this place look a little bit better. I keep coming back to it. It's one of those things. I thought it was finished, I thought we could move on from it, and then we couldn't. I thought of a way to improve it and I had to try it out, and it looks pretty spectacular, and by the look of things you guys like it too, because I did a poll in that video asking whether or not I should build it. 81%, that's 55,972 of you said that I should build it. 10,000 of you said that you weren't fussed whether I built it or not, and only 4%, only 2,800 people said that they didn't like it. So that's a pretty unanimous result. There's a lot of people who answered that poll, and as I say, for the most part, all of you like the idea. So that means that today we have got a rather enormous amount of work to do. Yeah, a lot of work to do. Now, I honestly have no idea how long this is going to take. The first one that we built took around about 4 hours in total, the first quarter. So I mean, I like to think that it will take less time than that, because obviously I've built it and I kind of know what I'm doing, but that would mean that we've got 12 hours of just glass placing, and that's not taking into account the fact that I'm definitely going to need more glass. So the first ring has been completed, and that is the most tricky one because of course it's the biggest one out of the entire bunch, and also you're constantly looking up, making sure that you're actually in line with the circle. So that's a good one. That's one milestone. Okay, that's the first milestone of many. From here, it gets easier. That's the way that I'm going to be looking at it. But I actually feel like for the first maybe 2 hours, I'm going to do a quick 2-hour time lapse, and we'll see how much progress we can make in that time, and then I'll decide how I'm going to record the episode from there, because otherwise things are going to get really boring and repetitive. Now in today's super fast time lapse chat, I want to talk to you about this Hermitcraft season and what my plans are for the Hermitcraft season, because I feel like now is a good time to say that I really had no intention to make this project such a big one. There's no other way to say it other than, you know, when you get fixated on something and you keep coming back to it, and in theory this project was something that I was meant to get finished in like maybe 10 episodes and then we can move on to the next project. I just keep coming back and adding things and improving things and just creating new bits and pieces, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, we have an enormous project that's absolutely massive, that is taking huge quantities of time, but I'm very, very happy with it, and I'm glad we've done it. But I just want to let you guys know that new plans are coming, and we're going to be building the next modules of the base very shortly. The storage system is now almost done. Soon we're going to be working on furnace smelter systems, all of the farms that are going to be dotted around on all the different islands. I'm very, very excited, and I can't wait to start work on some other builds that maybe are slightly less geometric. It's going to be awesome. That being said though, this is starting to look good too. So that was exactly 2 hours, and somehow I managed to time that perfectly because I only have 62 pieces of glass left, which would be enough to maybe get me that quarter. I don't know how I've done it, but it's exactly 2 hours to the second. And we've actually done a lot. We've done way more than I was expecting, and it's because I got into a rhythm. I kind of worked out how to place it. You kind of walk around and do this sort of thing as you're going along. So you place in the scaffolding block, and then you place in the glass, and you kind of have to just move around like that. But it worked, and we have managed to get down to this platform here, so we're doing very well. I'm just very interested to see how this thing looks. Obviously, all of it is going to be lit up, so that goes without saying. Whoa. It's definitely a lot for the eyes. Wow. Green space is looking cool. Yeah, that looks good. This looks so much cooler than it did before. Oh, by like a mile. By like a million miles. It looks so much better. Yeah, it looks pretty wild. No, I've just remembered. Before I went to the Philippines, when we split up the resources with Iskal, we didn't... Well, I didn't actually take mine. I left them in the chest around about here. It looks like they're gone. I wonder where they are. Where would they be? Whoa, I haven't seen this in person yet. This is awesome. Scar is such a beast. I don't know how he does it. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool actually flying around the Hermitcraft server and checking out other people's builds. I am going to have to do some form of world tour at some point because, yeah, people are building cool stuff. And I love that storage system. Just shulker boxes and chests all over the place. Anyway, speaking of that sort of thing, I've actually just got myself a bunch of shulker boxes because we need to get tons upon tons of sand so that we can get the glass so that we can actually continue our own personal project. Things could be better. It's currently dark in the desert, you guys know how it is, and obviously there's quite a lot of monsters around. Now normally I would go back to my base and sleep in these situations to avoid dying, but Doc actually wants it to be dark because he's trying to catch a drowned, which is totally fine, but it does mean that I'm kind of running into some problems. And I'm getting a weird arrow thing. Did you see that? It kind of looks like the arrow doesn't fire, but then the thing still dies. This is totally ridiculous. How does anyone survive being out in the desert at night? Like, seriously, oh my word, this guy's going to town. He's got some serious accuracy on him, and I've just fallen in a hole. Oh, yeah, things could be better. Things could definitely be better. Oh, this could be a problem. That guy has got my old sword. Now, as long as I have my bow, he's got my boots, and he had my axe. Oh. Okay, we've got those back, and I'm getting good with this bow and arrow. My strategy now is to repair my shovel while it's nighttime so that I don't have to deal with all the monsters in the desert, because that is awful for someone that's bad at Minecraft. Finally, after a lot of hairy moments and a lot of near-death experiences, all 6 shulker shells, or all 6 shulker boxes are now filled up with sand. So let's take that back over and let's get that smelted up. So for this one, we're actually going to need to expand out our little super smelter here, our tiny little super smelter that desperately needs improving. So we need 3 double chests up at the top. Oh, by the look of things, we've actually run out of real estate a little bit. But we need 3 double chests up at the top, and then I guess we need 3 double chests at the bottom to actually catch all the resources, and then we should be set for glass, hopefully, to finish up the sphere. Right, sweet. I think everything's smelting up nicely. I've gotten rid of all the sand in the shulker boxes. That's all flowing in there. We have got a decent amount of coal. I'm hoping that should be enough. Maybe I'll probably chuck in a little bit more. But obviously, we're going to need to AFK overnight for this one, because this is going to take many, many hours. So I'll catch you in the morning. I just came back onto the Hermitcraft server. I got kicked really early. This is bad news, guys. I don't know what to say. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue working on it, because the theory is that I build this thing so slowly that actually the glass smelting down under the ground probably is keeping up with me fairly well. so I should, in theory, have a fairly steady source of glass that is being produced as I'm actually building this thing. At least that is the theory at this point in time. And wow, I really need to light this place up. It's just the only thing is that I've actually run out of resources for my scaffolding. All of my dirt and everything that is easy to mine has just disappeared. I kind of feel like we're on the home straight now, because I have done the first set of glass that is 2 blocks in this direction. So we're kind of beginning to go into that stage now where things go down. In fact, how many strips have I got to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not too bad. But I have just run out of glass for the first time. So that was 10 stacks of glass just gone. Now let's see. Oh no. This isn't gonna work. I'm placing them way faster. Oh no. It's because it's only been 1 furnace that's been working. Oh. Okay, I've been away from the computer for about an hour, and this is how much we've managed to get. Has this gone wrong again? No, that is maximum speed. We need a super smelter and fast. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do that in the next episode of Hermitcraft. I'm going to create a kelp farm that's underneath the water, and then we're going to have a super smelter on top of the water that's being fueled by kelp blocks. Yeah, that seems like a good strategy because, oh, this is no fun. Anyway, I think for the time being, that's enough progress updates. It's time for another third-person time-lapse. So let's see if we can actually get this finished inside it. Now, in this second super fast time-lapse chat of today's video, I want to talk to you about curly whirlies, because so in my Sunday episode of Hermitcraft, the one that released last Sunday, I was eating a curly whirly, which is a form of chocolate bar in England. I was eating a curly whirly, and then Exuma came up to me, and I recorded a clip of me whilst eating a curly whirly, talking to Exuma. And curly whirlies, yeah, they're pretty terrible to eat while you're talking because they're incredibly chewy. But they're some of the best chocolate. I absolutely love them. But something very interesting happens. So somebody sent me an email showing the Google Trends data of the word curly whirly on Google. So Google Trends basically tracks what people are searching on Google. Okay, that's what it does. So if a large number of people search for something, it will show as a spike on the Google Trends graph. And on September the 9th, I think that's when it was released, at 8 PM, there's an enormous spike of people searching for curly whirly. And this looked pretty big, okay? There was obviously a spike. Now, a week later, I went back and looked at the data, and I took a look at the Google Trends for curly whirly since 2004. So that's when records began, okay? September 2018 has got the largest volume of curly whirly related searches ever in the history of Google. And I don't want to take credit for it, but I feel like I might be potentially responsible for it, which honestly is one of my proudest achievements. So thank you, everyone. And Cadbury's, if you're watching this, if you want to send some curly whirlies my way, then please do. And that is time-lapse number 2 completed. We managed to finish up the entire thing when it came to the rings. And that has made me very happy because it means that now we can actually get an impression of what this thing is going to look like with a full sphere. And the answer is, it looks totally crazy. It looks so ridiculous. And so much better than it did before. Like, so much better. Obviously, it's very dark. All of that is going to be lit up, so don't worry about that. And also, the power beams are very dark. You know what? I think at some point, maybe in today's episode, I might actually remove my Hall of Fame. I'm going to keep these things around the outside for the time being, but I think that top bit might have to go because it's making everything extremely dark. But no, I am super happy with this. Really happy with it. I think it looks great, but of course we do need to fill in all of the glass in between the gaps, which is a tiny bit faster. It's actually one of the fastest parts of the process, but it needs tons upon tons of glass, and I don't think I'm even going to be able to smelt up enough in time. Yeah, this thing definitely needs to go. My Hall of Fame, my gigantic Hall of Fame star, that needs to be gone because this is super deadly, and I'm hoping, because this is all made of relatively easy to mine stuff, it shouldn't actually take too long to do it. Oh, but then again, I am used to having haste 2 and a beacon, so, Whoa, that was close. I totally forgot about phantoms, and that guy right there just punched me off the edge, and I've just realised this place is obviously getting dangerous. The guys from the convex, they, just like me, don't bother lighting things up, which means that things get quite deadly. That wasn't the fastest thing in the world, but we've managed to get it completely removed, and now Below Nye, in the middle there, hasn't got loads of mobs spawning in his eyeballs. I mean, he still has a creeper under there, I think he's from earlier on, but for the most part, that has completely lit up the base, and actually made it feel a little bit, just a tiny bit, less dark and gloomy. Obviously, the sphere is still going to be dark because it's being shielded by all of this, but now we've actually gotten rid of that. This is starting to give us the feel of how the actual base is looking, and it looks so futuristic it almost hurts. Which is brilliant. Now I wonder how much glass is smelted, and not that much. So we have, I realised halfway through the time-lapse, by the way, that this chest seems to be filling up as well, which is a bit strange. It shouldn't be, that's not how hoppers really work. But yeah, this chest is filling up, so we have I don't know, probably about 1 inventory's worth. Should we use that? I feel like we should use that and just fill in as much glass as we possibly can in the sphere and see how far it gets us. Now, I guess the way that I'm going to do this is just work from the bottom up. That seems like a sensible solution. I think as long as we stay within the boundaries, which shouldn't be too difficult, then this will be plain and simple, and we can actually get these blocks placed in quite quickly. It's such a breath of fresh air over what I was doing earlier on with placing the glass in the dirt. It's painfully slow, that is. And there we have it, ladies and gents. We are down to the last 9 pieces of glass, which is probably going to take us maybe to the end of this. Not even to the end of that. So that full inventory there has done this loop up to this block. So we still probably have, especially because this is the smallest bit. So this is the smallest piece of the area. I'd say that's probably another 3, maybe even 4 inventories of glass that are left required to build the rest of this thing. But it does look cool. And one thing that is really helping is lighting it up. I feel like I should just quickly run through and just place torches just temporarily until we get the water on the inside of here and we start building up the aquarium. I think temporarily torches is the way to go, just so this actually looks like white glass as opposed to black glass. Now I wonder, how many torches do I actually have? 22, 21. Really, 21 that I can actually use. Also, by the way, we really need to get some item frames set up here so that I know what each of these shulker boxes is, because it takes me a long time to find what I'm looking for. This is looking far, far better already. So I'm just kind of looping around. I've actually almost used up all of my 8 stacks of torches here, but I'm just looping around, placing in the torches as I go nice and quickly. And they're kind of, I mean, I've done it so that they're maybe two of these apart, going up, and you can see that we kind of have the rings going round. Obviously this is not permanent. It gives me a rough idea of how I'd like to do it with sea pickles once we actually turn this thing into an aquarium, but it's completely changed the way that this feels. This feels amazing. Here we go, the last little loop almost done, and there it is. Okay, so this place is now fully lit up, so let's take a look at it. It wouldn't be one of my episodes without me faffing around with an elytra and just struggling to fly. But there we go. That is it. Oh my word, that is so much better than it was before. I can't imagine this base without the sphere underneath now. It just looks so much more, I don't know, it just looks so much more substantial. Before, it kind of lacked like a anything. It was just like a frame. It was like an exoskeleton, whereas now it is, yeah, that is like a serious structure. That looks really, really cool. And I even quite like our giant pixel arts on the side. They're not going to be sticking around. Bologna is sticking around, but these guys are probably going to be going at some point soon. However, I am enjoying them for the time being. They look great. Now actually, with all this lighting up of the area around the sphere, I thought it would be a good idea to actually get some lights inside the power beam, because that's been a little bit dark. So the way that I'm going to do it, I've been thinking about this. I think I'm just going to run a strip of sea lanterns going up like that. Now that I think about it, that's going to be expensive on sea lanterns, but you know what? No, it doesn't matter. We might as well spend the amount and have it work. Woo-wee! That was very close. My elytra didn't activate. I mean, you guys knew that already. Okay, yeah, that uses about 1.5 stacks per side. Now, how much is it? It's 4 diamonds a stack. This guy has got to be joking. I say this every single time I come here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't even have enough money for that. Can I also just say that Iskal said that he was going to be in charge of restocking the slime block store, and it's completely empty, so I might have to take matters into my own hands and restock this place, because I'm sure we've got plenty of slime balls. Somebody has burnt out my nether portal, so we might oh, there's no fire tick. I thought I was going to do some genius fire spread action, but no, it just means that I can't get home. I can hear a ghast though, which honestly could be our ticket out of here. Obviously, I could fly home, but it would be funny to be able to reignite a portal without using a flint and steel. Yes! Come on! Come on, come on, come on! Almost. No! Come on! No! Oh, that was so close! Oh, God, this is so dangerous! I really hope we can get this. No! I've just looked at my recording software! The ghast hit it! It was the best thing ever! But I'd stopped recording. And OBS hadn't... This is the most upset I've ever been. I was laughing like a madman, then I thought I'd check my recording software. And it didn't record it. Oh. I think the issue is that I started recording a clip, and then I got very excited. You can see there's like a 2-second clip of a ghast firing a fireball and it's flying through the air, and I think I got excited because I thought the fireball was going to hit the nether portal, and I hit record again, which obviously stops recording. So I missed one of my favourite moments of Hermitcraft. Can't believe it. Anyway, aside from that crippling disappointment, the power beam is now fully lit up, and also apparently fairly lethal when you fly into it. But now let's see how it looks on the inside of my base, and that looks much brighter. I hadn't realized how dark that thing was. Jeez, this thing looks crazy. You know, in a way, it actually looked quite cool in not being all very bright. So maybe we might need to work on adding in some dark spots to the light beam, because yeah, the power beam actually looked quite cool without it being a massive, like bright structure in the middle there. Even so, this is a crazy looking place. Very, very happy with what we've managed to pull off here. Now, I'm going to have to go AFK probably over the next 2 days to get the remaining glass to finish up this sphere. But then we'll get that finished, and then we can start work on everything down at the bottom here. But as you guys know, in the next episode, we're actually going to be working on the kelp farm and also our super smelter so that we can get even more glass fast. Because I feel like the projects are still going to involve huge quantities of glass throughout this season, so we're going to need that. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.